It's a combination of feedback loops. We're working together. We do in our everyday life. We're making decisions. We're changing the environment. Our systems are working, and there is a how it very simple correlation between new houses, sold houses, and houses under construction evolved in the big system, including historical prices, potential buyers, expected profit of the developers, the perceived cost of the people who are going to supply the materials for the constructions. Okay, another big thing what we have to also keep in mind before start studying the system dynamics. What do you think? What do you see on this screen? Please. Please tell me, what do you see? Okay, you see one white triangle on the top of the white triangle with the black corner, yes? What?
Maybe there is no second triangle, the one triangle. It's not a triangle, just lines.
Okay, so all of us see the two triangles, yes? Yeah, but we have to say there are no triangles here. You see, there are no triangles. Nobody explicitly drew triangles for you. It's just unfinished circles and unfinished triangles. That's it. But all of us see the two triangles. We call it mental model. So all your life, you from the childhood, you went to the school, you're now in the University of Nazarbayev University, you went to the family, you are being taught to every day, and your mental model is being created by someone, by the environment about you, by government, by your friends, by your family, by everything. And you think exactly inside your mental model every time you think. It's very important to understand that the mental model, it's something to be changed if you wanna study system dynamics. Because again, you are not. It's your perception of reality. There is no triangles, but everyone see this is triangles. This is perception of reality. Reality is different from what you do in your life. Again, how to change it? How to deal with the feedback with your mental model? Every time you make decision, you change the real world. You receive information feedback in any types of behavior from the system. You receive it. You understand that something is being changed. It's very interesting that mental model is being changed by your real world. The more you do your analysis of the feedback of the real world for the mental model, the more good from your point of view decisions you can do. So decisions, they alter not only the world about you, the markets, the businesses, and also it also alters your mental model. It's very, very interesting to know and very interesting to understand. So basically, it's works very fast. I don't know. What we are going to do during the main purpose today's introduction was, if you are interested, please go to the internet, download the business dynamics books from John Sterman. It's impossible to read it in one night. It's impossible to read it in, in 1 year, but you have to just start reading about it. If it's interesting for you, we can do the following. We are going to take real life cases in the everyday life, not only in Kazakhstan, but any field you choose. We will do particular markets. It could be real estate market. It could be, I don't know. You tell me what you want to explore. we will understand how this systems works, what are the feedbacks. We draw that kind of system dynamics model, understand, we'll go particularly, we'll choose the cases. It could be medical system in Kazakhstan. It could be medical system in the United States, if you are aware. There's a lot of examples in our life, but it needs to be changed. It would be, I don't know, this famous industrial innovation program of Kazakhstan. We also could understand what dynamics inside. We could do the, I don't know, the new Silk Road project of KTZ. Is it possible to boost the sales from China to Europe? How many factors are related to this? How many correlations and how many feedbacks we can get from this one? So we'll try to understand this and after that we will do modeling and simulation models. There are several good softwares in the system dynamics fields. We'll go together from this one. It's a kind of quote from this book. You can read it. Basically, if you're interested to know, there is no boundaries for your mental model. It should be expanded by using particular tools. One of these tools is system dynamics. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, please ask me.
So this is the time for question and answer. So if you have questions, I can bring the microphone to you. Come on, don't be shy. Who's got the first question?
Hello? Well, hello. Thank you for the lecture. I was just wondering if you can provide some examples from your work experience about this unintuitive cycles. For example, maybe from Alliance Bank or Kazakh Railways. Can you tell us something about some decisions where you couldn't predict the outcome?
Okay. From Alliance Bank, I can tell you in 2009 or 2010, there was a big boom on the grain market in Kazakhstan. You know, all these famous companies who bought millions of hectares around the country, and it starts producing the grain and sell it. We started thinking about maybe we can enter to this market for our credit products and credit these grain people. And we just started compare the number of the money these people basically were borrowing from the financial institutions and the number of the grain produced in Kazakhstan. And it was obvious mismatch. So we sent the people to the elevator here in the northern part of Kazakhstan and took one of our clients together, and he showed us these big elevators with the grain inside and showed us so-called grain papers where the particular amount of tonnage of grain was claimed to be in this elevator. So again, we started thinking. I called my colleagues from other banks, said, do you kind of crediting this guy? And they say, yes. Can you show me these grain papers, the grain claim? They say, no. So it was kind of first feedback. I understand that something is going wrong. And we started thinking about maybe there is a feedback that people trying to get money using one grain paper for different banks. So basically, we draw the model, understand that by the time, and we give them 5 years, that in 5 years, basically the market will collapse because so many money funds injected for so many amount of grain. First of all, the second assumption was that the agricultural business, it's a seasonal business. Today you have a good harvest, tomorrow you don't have it. So also there is a correlation. It was kind of we call it S-shaped growth of the crediting market, but it was oscillation of the harvest. And we predicted it will be the exponential decline in the people in the payment payment back of the credit lines. So in 4 years now, and today we feel it, market collapsed. And where are these guys today? Some of them in jail because of they stole money from the banks. Some of them close to suicide. It's not a secret. Some of them completely bankrupt because of the situation. And I can imagine if we would go for this market and start crediting, maybe Alliance Bank would be the same place like some banks today in Kazakhstan. So this example, how you can just using some tools predict what will happen in 2 or 3 or 4 years. I don't know, in KTZ maybe my colleagues from KTZ will tell us what will be the relationships and what's going on in KTZ. What kind of feedback loops you are seeing right now.
Thank you for your presentation. I think this is actually an interesting topic because we never think about the way we're thinking. So my question is, have you planned the following lectures, and if so, when's going to be the next lecture, and how many times actually we will meet, and I mean the period of the lecture?
Yeah, that's very good. So there's a whole point of this lecture today is just introduce in very broad scale, and give you a very little information about the system dynamics field itself. If there is the interest from your side, please just drop me a line.
Raise your hands. How many of you are interested in the second lecture?
Yeah. In 2002, I opened my Facebook account, but in 2005, I was kind of forced to leave it. And my wife, she's here, she knows why. But it was time when the Facebook was very kind of picky in terms of the people who are this. So especially for this one, I'm going to open again my Facebook. So it will be completely about the system dynamics and everything. So I will open it tonight. And just drop me your feedbacks, okay? Any times of negative, positive. Okay, so your feedback about this lecture. If you like it, we'll be in touch. Thanks to Tat and Richard, I think we'll organize again the series of lecture. Again, we'll go through them from the modeling to the simulation. It's impossible to do it maybe to run through the whole system dynamics. We'll pick some very difficult from my point of view and important topics in the system dynamics. We will go through them. And the ultimate goal, what I would like to see, that maybe by the time, if we do it, I don't know, once in 2 weeks, maybe every week we'll decide. After that, maybe after the 10 lectures, we'll have some group of people who will be dedicated to the system dynamics. And we can do even your dissertations or your theses. Is it possible, Richard? Chad, is it possible?
Anything is possible.
So we basically choose your topic for your diploma, and we can do together some particular case for system dynamics, apply it to the Kazakhstan. That will be, I think, interesting.
Richard, microphone here, please.
I have a question. So you mentioned some of the modeling and the simulation tools, and do you use this kind of software to predict the forecast in your company? And for what purposes? What are the outcomes, if they are reliable or not?
No, the KTZ is too sophisticated company. They don't use system dynamics. They don't use system dynamics. But with help of you, if it will be the group of people who understand how to do it, we will just do some projects for KTZ.
Any more questions? Some MBA students are in the house.
That's good.
All right.
thank you for this system thinking way, and I think that it's very applicable in everyday life, not just at work, in everyday life and in relationships maybe, because there is always reasons and consequences and how to prevent these bad consequences. But I have a more personal question. You graduated from MIT MBA program, and I wanted to ask what gave you MBA program and how changed your life after MBA and way of thinking, a way of solving problems, maybe more information about.
I don't know, it's all about your will to do. It doesn't matter where you study, frankly. It matters do you want to study or not. So you can be better student at university than in Harvard and MIT. It's for sure. So it gave a lot. Because of all these people who gave you some very interesting lectures, the unique people you talk. And moreover, I think the most of you taking out from the MBA, it's people who are your communicate everyday life of your classmates, your study groups, which is more important. It's very important.
Good evening. I'm from MBA too. My name is Yerbol. In the afternoon today, we had a lecture about change management from Yuri Proskurnya. It is Samruk Kazna transformation. So we talked about change management, how we can change the system, the way of thinking, business processes, optimization, and etc. It's also relates to your topic. Please tell us, Maxat, how hard, how difficult, and what obstacles we have to change the system, because we are a young country, we have some mentality, some from Soviet Union ways of thinking, ways of planning.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
How much?
25. 25.
You have Kazakh way of thinking. It's not Soviet. I have a Soviet.
I know, but we are. I want to say that we are implementing some European ideas of transformation, of change management, and how it fit to our system. For example, for KTZ. And what European ideas you implementing there? Something new ideas which make difference.
Okay.
Maybe some theories, some concepts, yes.
Because I'm in, it's a transformation project, it's a big project. It's running by Samruk, and there are some particular people in KTZ who are dealing with transformation. For me, as a CFO, it's just a kind of cost center. So we have to pay something to these people to educate us, and we'll see. Basically, it's a very good point. We can maybe after 3 or 4 lectures, we can draw this system dynamics model of the transformation of some companies, and there are lots of interesting findings. I'll think we'll find in terms of how we can implement the European experience to our everyday life. I think it's a good way to do something like this, to implement the best ideas, like consultant says, best principles or something. But it should be seriously done, not only just saying something, doing very interesting presentation. For example, in terms of transformation itself, it's a lot of different dimensions that we are dealing right now with the companies, and also one of them is privatization, which is linked to this transformation and stuff. And in KTZ, because I think what they're missing in the transformation, it's they are not working closely with the people who are in the industry right now. For example, to transform the whole big animal like KTZ, just doing the consultant services is impossible. You have to understand how it works. So it's a long way.
Good evening, Maxat. Thank you for your presentation. As I understood, you are going to give some lectures to our students in Nazarbayev University. if there are a lot of people are interested. And what's your own interest in our students? Are you going to implement our students in your future projects, or so? What is, as we know that every project should be beneficial for both parties. We are
You're right,
benefit
right.
from your election. What's your benefit from?
So I told that what I would like to kind of see by the end of this, maybe, so I don't know how many lectures we'll have, this kind of group of people who will be capable to do modeling and simulation on the particular business or everyday life cases to the real, make model simulation and do some services for whoever who needs them.
I'll just add to that, we've been talking as well about the possibility of Maxat offering a project to our full-time MBA students,
Yeah.
for which system thinking might be the basis for that project.
Maybe this is good opportunity for us to find out the, some project dissertation topic for our
Yes, absolutely.
final project.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And it never hurts knowing people like Maxat either.
Okay.
It's all about networking. Don't forget
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Anyone else have a question for Maxat? Okay.
Hi everyone, hi Maxat, thank you for your lecture. Unfortunately, we had a chance to listen only for the 15 minutes of your lecture. However, we have a question regarding your maybe former job as a head of the Kazakh Stock Exchange. As far as I remember, during your time at KASE, there were some talks or propositions by the like former stock exchanges to buy a stake in the Kazakh Stock Exchange. Why haven't these plans been implemented? Why is the Kazakh Stock Exchange not that developed, though it's been existing for so many years? And how do you think the creation of the International Financial Center of Astana will affect the future of the Kazakh Stock Exchange? Thank you.
It's a very interesting
Deep
question.
questions.
So first of all, we don't have capital market. We have to understand. If you don't have market, you don't need stock exchange. Frankly, that's my definition. There is no stock market in Kazakhstan. Yes, it just it was artificially created to transfer money from pension fund to the banks. You have to research it and understand. So to create it is working. You have to, first of all, you have to have the liquidity in the country. You have to put all privatization here in the local stock exchange. You have to attract money from a different space, from different countries in people to trade on this stock exchange. So there was a good idea to sell the stake to the strategic partner. Why it didn't work? Because of the regulation. It was too complicated because of how the KASE is structured and how all the documents inside KASE have been written. It's very hard to attract the people, and because of the National Bank is a main shareholder there. That's why maybe because of regulation they're afraid. Everyone knows what happens with the pension funds. The private pension funds. They've all been combined in one state fund. Now we have the new loop of the development of the pension system in Kazakhstan, which was also an interesting case to do the system dynamics in the pension system in Kazakhstan. So the idea of this financial center is very interesting. I think it should work if we can attract liquidity. Again, it's all about liquidity. But today, using iPhone, you can trade. I don't know, in Sydney, in Toronto, in New York. You don't need basically stock exchange itself. But idea is good. Idea is good. But I'm not the person who can judge it, and basically, I'm not decision maker in this field. So.
Any other questions?
Hello. Thanks for your lecture. In the beginning of the QA session, you mentioned the example with the grain market, And you told that you kind of did a prediction for 5 years that the market will collapse. So my question is that whether it's possible to kind of using the system dynamics modeling, making predictions for more complex markets. For instance, in 2008, no one was expecting that the market of stock in the USA will collapse. And
Stock market?
Yes, and the global crisis will start. So is it possible to make such predictions nowadays using system dynamics?
We don't need to do any predictions because there is a system, there is a model of the stock market in the USA. And on the future lecture, we can go through this model. You can see the relationship between the different variables in this system. There is also a very good model of the real estate market in the USA. It combines data from 18th century about the real estate market, and which is interesting, the trends and the behavior of the system almost the same like in 2008. So it's only the matter of time delays. In 200 years ago, the time between market boost and collapse took 20 years, 25 years, 50 years during the, I don't know, maybe if we go earlier to 100 years, because the numbers of houses and the new constructions was much less. But with the condensing amount of the houses and the players on the market, the cycle is now it's around 5, 6, 7 years from the one in the developed markets, from the market boost till the collapse. So there are basically lots of models inside already exist. Our task is to take them, implement, maybe adapt to our reality, and look what will happen. So the stock market is also predictable. And the Sterman, the John Sterman, he used to work for the Forester's office at MIT, and he was advisor to George Bush Senior office as an advisor, and they hired him to run system dynamic simulation of the different markets, and he predicted the oil market prices with the, I think, with the variation, with the discrepancy, maybe 10 or 15% for each year. And if you see now his model of the oil market now, he said that price from 2014 to 2018 will be around 55, 65, and it's exactly what we're having right now. It was a Brent oil. So it's a lot of things, basically people around the world using system dynamics to implement in the policy to predict it.
So good evening. My name is Miras, and I'm the first-year student. A friend of mine is doing research about corporate responsibility of large companies in Kazakhstan.
Which responsibility?
Corporate responsibility. Okay. So unfortunately he couldn't come, and I'm instead of him. I want to ask you, does KTZ take corporate responsibility? I mean, does KTZ do some social active actions to develop our society, for example, building sports activities or helping orphan children, something like that? Thank you.
Yeah, I think the KTZ is one of the biggest social welfare creator in this country in terms of constructing something, building. If you just go outside to see the new skate rink, the skate stadium, which is built by KTZ. You see lots of, I think 30% of the building here in Astana built by KTZ. And also we have big social programs in KTZ also, helping families. There is 150,000 employees in KTZ. If you take, there is 3 or 4 members of family, we're going close to the 1 million people who are somehow related to KTZ today. And there's a big social responsibility for the company. And even today's where the market is not good, we are keeping people working. So we didn't fire even one person during the last 2 years, just because of the social responsibility. But it shouldn't be overwhelming for the company. It should be overwhelming. because it hits your finance. From my personal point of view, it's better to pay people, I don't know, social, so pay people money not to go to the job and stay at home, rather than go to the job and just simulate a job. So.
Any other questions?
One more question, about dividing the KTZ for private companies, for joint stock companies, because of big transactional costs was previous in KTZ, because of the huge system. If we compare this huge system with big transactions and the new system where we have a KTZ and many small companies which serve service for KTZ. Is it really cost saving and optimal for KTZ, the new system? Because there we lose this profit which can get KTZ like a previous system. Do you compare this? Is this effective, this solution, this decision?
So it's basically about the transforming KTZ into the infrastructure, the freight company and passenger company, make it the separate, and all do the round of the infrastructure, and the rest of the company needs to be sold because they're providing services for KTZ. Yes, I think it's a very good way. It's the only way to go, to get rid of all this unrelated core business, different from your core business activities. Because what's the railroad should to do? Just to carry freight or people from A to B. That's it. The rest of all, it's not for railroad.
It's more relevant, yes?
It's more relevant in cost saving. Yes, in cost saving. Or maybe, or am I wrong with my KTZ colleagues? They struggle with it every day, supporting all these non-related activities. But, yes. But hopefully we are very good in the privatization. Last year we sold, I think more than 20 companies close to KTZ. Okay,
One more question.
Thank you for your lecture. And I have questions maybe a bit irrelevant to the topic that you were talking about. I'm just wondering, I always was doing research about corruption in Kazakhstan, and I'm trying to find solution how to fight this problem, or is it efficient or not? So I have a question about KTZ. How do you fight corruption in your company? I mean, is there any special system? How do you do this, or is it possible really?
To fight corruption?
Yeah.
Until
You know
until one people is able to give money to another people, the corruption will not disappear in the world. It's just kind of, I don't know. I think the first man who made the corruption activities was the I don't know, from Jesus Christ's time. There's a lot of people, basically Judas.
At least to decrease the rates.
Corrupted, so lots of people, it's corruption is embedded in the system. The way how to deal with this one. You cannot touch it, you have to fight it. Yes, and there is particular people in the KTZ who fight corruptions, there are people in the country who fight corruption itself. But at least there's a very good question was about the privatization. The less interest between the private companies and the state companies, the less transaction inside what can you provide to the private sector, the more corruption. So with the privatization, when you have the private companies, as a rule, they don't have any corruption inside them because it's pure business deals they do. When private companies start and deal a lot with the state-owned company, there is a place for corruption because the people in the state companies, they always want to get some benefits because they don't produce, they produce nothing. They just trying to push people from private sector to do something good for them. So one way it's privatization, privatization and to be open for the market, for the people. So this idea of IPO of KTZ itself, it's a very good idea because the foreign investors, they will be very sensible to any kind of corruption itself. So the way it's privatization, from my point of view.
Okay, one last one.
That's what you said before.
He forced me. One last one.
As far as I know, next to Astana, there is one factory that produces locomotives, Spanish technology. So my question is, how much our Kazakhstan-made locomotives they are competitive in the international market? Thank you.
Okay. Well, there are 3 factories around Astana. 2 of them produce locos, and 1 produce coaches for passenger coaches. So they're very competitive because it's the best technology. It's General Electric, which is make locos, and Alstom, who makes electric locomotives for the market. They are very competitive. The technology of GE, it's state of the art, is best on the market today. And we just closed a deal with GE. They bought 50% of shares from us. Now we don't have any. Now our participation in terms of shareholding in this plant is 0. So it's privately owned right now.
Could you particularly say which countries did our country export our locomotives?
So last year we sold locomotives to Azerbaijan. They needed to Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, or a neighboring country. Russia doesn't buy it because it's American technology. It's sanctions, so they cannot do it. And now we're in talks with the Baltic countries and Ukraine.
Okay, Maxat, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I guess Maxat, we'll be in touch with everyone regarding regarding the next date. We'll be in touch with you all.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard.
Sir. Great. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Is it good?